Okay, continuing on with my article, Waste in Popular Music Education, Rock's Problematic Metaphor and Instrument Making for Ecoliteracy. Page 45, Rock and Waste. Music industry can refer to people and laws governing music business interests, or it can refer to material. Music industry can describe a complex network of materials extraction and materials processing, a continual flow of exhaustible resources and exhausted commodities, a pattern of accumulation and dispossession which have discernible and describable logics, as well as measurable material consequences. See Divine, 2015. As the material consequences of an industry, rock and waste is a social justice concern. It seems inescapable that popular musics produce material waste. Noting this, ecomusicologist Mark Penalty asks, is the environmental crisis ultimately a genre crisis for rock, hip-hop, and other energy-intensive musical styles? For performers, waste includes electronic equipment, which is often built for obsolescence, built to break down. And for listeners, material waste include vinyl records, cassette CDs, and now iPhones. Fans who collect these popular music artifacts are sometimes called junkies, a term that refers to drug abuse endemic in rock, perhaps also referring to waste they accumulate, junk. Also performances are energy intensive. Setups include power for PA system, instruments, amps, monitors. While famous groups travel from city to city on jets, even local performers doing an acoustic set require a large van. A small electric car won't carry much equipment. In an article published in The Growler, Jackie Renzetti recommends ways to minimize your music listening environmental footprint, including streaming rather than using LPs, cassettes, or CDs. She suggests purchasing digital music can reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Similarly, in general music today, Robin Giebelhausen suggests replacing paper music with digital copies. In contrast, Kyle Devine, in 2015, challenges the idea that digital musics are waste-free or even better options. Quote, the move to a data-based musical materiality could represent a step in the wrong direction from the use of raw materials that are relatively renewable, shellac, and commodities that are readily recycled in secondary economies, LPs, to delivery infrastructures that weigh heavily on the environment, server farms, and musical commodities with short life expectancies, accessory electronics, and ambiguous afterlives, MP3s, end quote. But the picture that emerges is not yet clear, with Devine's scholarship overriding Renzetti's and Giebelhausen's. Greenpeace in 2012 confronted Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, and other companies over the use of cloud power, providing percentages of the cloud that use clean energy, coal, and nuclear, as well as rating transparency, and recommended ways to clean our cloud. In response, Apple, which has received a D for transparency from Greenpeace, made changes, resulting in a press release in 2018 noting they are 100% powered by renewable energy. However, previous reporting had suggested that the part of that is 100% renewable represents only 2% of Apple's total activity. Perhaps the cloud can be made greener, and old LPs, cassettes, and CDs can be recycled. Whichever side is right in this dispute, CDs and paper or digital music education can be a wasteful endeavor. And by understanding the complexity of the discourse, helps us better become eco-literate, including understanding the discourse corporate and activist groups, visible and hidden waste. Waste is also a metaphor. In But Is It Garbage? Media theorist Stephen L. Hamelman in 2004 discusses waste as a prevailing metaphor in rock music. In descriptions of rock, critics use many variations of the trash trope. Rock lyrics and band names incorporate trash, waste, and garbage. And the early death of rock stars is itself a tragic dimension of the trash trope, the ultimate form of waste. Men and women dying well before reaching middle age. Consequently, as we increasingly incorporate popular music into our teaching practices, what can we do to resist material and metaphorical waste already embedded in rock? When I presented this paper at a conference, Gareth Dillon Smith made me aware of a movement towards using bamboo drumsticks, which are more sustainable. This seems like an interesting start. Resistance seems to begin with our material choices. Next, I will explicate some strengths of popular music education, generally, and link these strengths to the alleviation of wastes. Popular music education. It has been argued that music education can increase its impact by incorporating popular musics, which are part of many students' out-of-school lives. Popular music education is connected to ideas of informal learning, enculturation and immersion, performing, creating, and listening. Lucy Green suggests each of these involves a teacher giving up power, providing students more autonomy to decide on curriculum content and to direct their own learning strategies. However, teachers who open their classroom to student control may open themselves to uncertainty and possible failure. While closed, teacher-centric approaches to music teaching are not inherently unethical, Randall Everett Alsop argues for a teaching approach that appreciates art's ideals as ambiguous and open. This approach to popular music education may provoke a more ethical pedagogy for teachers and students, even when, or maybe especially when, we allow our authority as teachers to be destabilized. Approached in an integrated way, popular music has an opportunity to increase ecological literacy. Certainly, songs like Neil Young's Be the Rain, Ziggy Marley's Dragonfly, Joe Walsh's Song for a Dying Planet, Rush's The Trees, The Pretenders' My City Was Gone, The Beatles' Mother Nature's Son contain clear environmental ideas. And these can be incorporated into curricula. But an integrated approach to ecological literacy doesn't only mean directing students to learn such songs. Teaching as ecological literacy holistically reintegrates the moral with the ecological, the scientific with the aesthetic and ethical, weaving together the array of perspectives that moderns need to attend to their questions to live the good life in times of morally difficult and ecologically destructive. Living the good life can involve making music one loves, rather than being uprooted from out-of-school musical cultures. It also can involve making music in sustainable ways. Further, students can write songs about the social concerns that most affect their lives. Waste being a global challenge, each student is already aware of. When creating music, students can return to their communities to learn from and teach their families and friends, creating an ecologically reciprocal relationship that preserves actual local places. We live the good life through decency and kindness, and personal and cultural preservation can parallel ecological conservation. And ultimately, many diverse local musical cultures may provide the ideas needed to solve the greatest social challenges we face. With this in mind, there are three strengths of popular music for reducing waste. 1. By connecting in-school teaching to students' out-of-school lives, students learn that all their knowledge matters, not just what we provide in the classroom. 2. By teaching music, performing, creating, and listening together, students learn musical knowledge exists in an integrated way. They do all of these. They are interconnected. 3. By songwriting, students learn that they are able to make music and not just consume them. Okay, and we'll start there next time with the instrument making section on page 49. Have a great day.